gain victory over tormenting dreams? I mean, dreams that have that tormented the individual in question, the dreamer, so to say. How do you gain victory over this? Because there are tormenting dreams. Tormenting dreams are nightmare. They are a little beyond tormenting or afflicting nightmare. These ones are not just troubling, they tormented the individual. He or she was tormented in that dream. So, upon waking up from such dreams, there is a lot to take note of, because tormented dreams are actually revelations of the past, and then it also lay holds on present activities. And what do you do with tormenting dreams? Okay, you know, first have it at the back of your mind that when they say someone is tormented, it means that the person, such a person's peace was taken away, and physical afflictions were there, emotional, and all the like. So these are not dreams that you've dreamed and you decide to stay aloof. No. Now, what to do with such dreams? They are a revelation, like I told us. Now, let's have a scripture here. In the natural, they could affect your waking life enormously if such dreams are left unattended. In Matthew chapter 27, verse 19, the wife of Pilate, the Pilate's wife, on the night before the judgment of Jesus, Jesus was brought before the Pilate, where the Pilate will be the judge. And of course, the people reposed a lot of confidence on the Pilate. So they were waiting for his verdict. But then, after all the witnesses have spoken, the wife sent a message to her husband, Pilate, and told him, please have nothing to do with this case. Let this man be. A way of saying, remove your hand from this case. Don't just meddle in it. Don't get involved. And then she gave a reason immediately, that because she suffered torment just the night before. That's exactly how dreams work. Just the night before, she suffered great torment. He said, on the account of this case, on the account of this man. So please have nothing to do with it. Desist. You see, it brings to mind so many things. Dreams remain a torment when the right interpretation was not reached. If the right interpretation is not given, such dreams remain a torment. And then, of course, the Genesis chapter 40, verse 6 had the account of the baker and the butler that caught dream each same night. And then when Joseph, who was like their captain in the prison, and of course Joseph had been blessed with the gift of interpretation, when he reached them in the morning, he saw their countenance were sad, and he asked them why they were sad. And of course, they told him each that they had some kind of dreams. And they were sad because they knew the important messages contained in dreams, but they never knew exactly what the message was all about. But they knew it was about them. Thankfully, they were talking to an interpreter, whom of course did something about it and told them what it meant. Now they were of a sad countenance because in that dream, the dream was not spelling anything good, except for one of them. The other person was really sad because he has an idea that such kind of dreams contain a message that is negative to him, and they were sad because they knew that dreams normally manifest. I'm an advocate of the fact that nobody at any level should let dream unattended, because a dream ignored is always a benefit denied. You see, whether a good dream or a bad dream, it all depends on what you do with such dreams. So you gain favor. So you place yourself on a safe side. I remember the experience of this lady that was being chased by a late sister. And the late sister would chase and chase them and give the living sister a chase. That's in her dream. Until they will go to hide, and then they wake up. They always, it's not once, they wake up in such kind of dream, from such dream, worried. In their waking life, when the sister was alive, they wouldn't have been chasing each other. The elders wouldn't chase her for such. And these are evil forces. They were giving them a chase. Those are evil forces. And such kind of dream brings about constant doubt. And of course, a person whom you know was already late was now giving you a chase. You begin to become afraid if such a spirit of death was also coming after you. You see, it weakens your spirit in your waking life, because such a spirit is doing everything possible to influence you, to dominate you. It's an influence of the spirit that does not spell well for the dreamer if left unattended. And then the physical relationship of such kind of dream gets affected, or it affects the relationship. And then the victory in ventures becomes elusive when dreams, especially tormenting dreams, are unattended. And if there is any dream that should be attended almost immediately, it is a tormenting dream. One quick step to take upon catching such dream is to cry to the Lord. The Psalm 56 verse 9 says, cry to the Lord, and of course your enemies will turn back. Now, cry here typifies prayer and talks about intense prayers. Really intense prayers. You see, God is faithful and very faithful. And if you leave this kind of understanding of dreams, you don't have to be blessed with the gift of interpretation to be able to do the right thing. But if you leave such dreams unattended, you remain in the congregation of the dead. The scripture says, he that wandereth out of the way of understanding will remain in the congregation of the dead. See, tormenting dreams are purely spiritual and should be handled spiritually. Tormenting dreams involve dreams where you are beaten, okay? Or you wake up with fear and, of course, crying with literal tears. And, of course, such kind of dream, some of them, they leave you sick, especially days after. You see that individual become sick. I'm talking about in their waking life now. Because they are more real than your beliefs. They are tormenting dreams. So, some practical steps to take concerning such dream, and what to note quickly is the time of such dream. Time when such dream was caught, whatever time of the night. If you have an idea of it, And if you are the type that record dreams very quickly, you woke up from the dream and you record it, then just know that the Lord himself has a reason for you. Something is been going on now in the spirit that you will need to take a corresponding step so it will alter to your advantage. And then, of course, you cut off the enemies fully. Yeah, you have to arise now in prayers. You have to learn the act of warfare when it comes to this kind of dreams. You see, it was a good dream. A third point to note is that it was actually a good dream because you woke up. You woke up. Bad dream is the one you never woke up. But this one you woke up, so there was something you could do. You could do about it. So it's a victory for you to claim. Yeah. Now, go back to the woman. When the woman sent that message to the husband, Pilate, well, in their own little way, that time, the man removed his hand, irregardless of the pressure from the crowd, the multitude that followed. He removed his hands and said, hey, the blood of this man will not be on their head, and so on and so forth. So he never passed a direct judgment. So tormenting dreams, what one good step to take is to desist from whatever is shown you. Like I always say in my videos, I said, always look for the format of that dream. Tell the story. What really happened in the dream? What did you see? Because there are certain points there to note. The only thing you may be able to have a record of aside the story in the dream is the timing of that dream and how you felt when you woke up, sweaty, afraid, crying, any physical sign. But aside that, take note of the story. Okay, don't be a forgetful hearer. Don't be one that had just watched a movie and you could not come up with the story. You couldn't really recall the story again. So tormenting dreams could affect anything in your waking life. It could affect career, especially when the torment is taking place in your place of work, in your business center, when it takes place in your marriage. Tormenting dreams. Tormenting dreams. Tormenting dreams can take their toll on anything. So the dreamer must be wise at this point. Take a very wise step and break free from the torment so it does not manifest in the natural in your waking life. Remember, it is the glory of God to conceal a thing and the honor of kings to search out a matter. Proverbs 25 verse 2. So don't allow the torment you saw repeat itself in your waking life. That's your responsibility. Well, I'll peg this video here and we shall continue in the next video. Reverend Matthew Amshada here. Remain blessed.